All the content contained in this webcast is for informational purposes only. The investments and strategies contained in this webcast may not be suitable for you. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment or trading decisions. Welcome back, traders, for the 10:30 a.m. update. SPOOs were unable to get to the Globex low. In fact, only went a point through yesterday's low. And we got a little pop above settlement. Dennis, what are you doing? Buying out there?
A little bit of strength happening. Your financials open kind of weaker, and they're actually turning around, and a lot of them are going positive now, Joel. So we're seeing some overall strength, a little broad-based bounce back. Obviously, we're still flat here, but from where we were, an hour and a half before the open, we're doing okay.
Okay, before we go into the financials, Dennis, we were talking about the old ex-dividend effect on T and Verizon, and looks like that's come to fruition.
Yeah, it has, Joel. Just like we thought might happen, the AT&T actually opened up right near the highs. It's been straight down, really. It was actually trading up pre-market, which is up from the adjusted dividend close here. T had the dividend and Verizon did, and they're both trading down about 25 cents right now. So Verizon trading at 37.62 right now. Opened up right around the high 37.85. We talked about in the pre-market show there's this low here at 37.56. The low today was 37.58, so it's right there. Almost you could argue that double bottom. And 37.50 overall. There was three lows there in February too, Joel, on Verizon. So maybe it does come into some support here.
Yeah, I remember that had that vicious 3-day sell-off last week. That got to 30.77, so that's an area I'd be keeping an eye out on T. As far as Verizon goes, that thing really has a whole host, trading very close to support here at 37.56. It's hit 58, so that seemed to approach its support a little bit sooner than AT&T. Dennis, what are you doing in Apple there? It seems to be going opposite the market.
I'm looking at it this morning. Isn't this the weirdest thing? Apple, you got a couple price target upgrades. Made it open strong, 627.09, but that opened near the high. Market was opened, down 3 or 4 points there. Now the market's flat, and Apple's come back in, so it's kind of the opposite thing. Apple sold out $3. The market's rallied 4 points. Maybe Apple's just goes opposite the market now, Joel.
Yeah, probably make you a little bit leery of buying into this rally too much. If Apple can't sustain the close here, should be a good swing level. 624.31 was the close. We're currently trading there, but I can tell you one thing about Apple for sure, Dennis. It's not going to stay in a 4-point range today.
No, Apple's not going to stay in a 4-point range, so it's kind of winding up to do one thing or another. But relative strength, not that great on Apple today, so watch out. Just if it started to break down below that close, or even below the low that it's already set today, 623.40, it might make me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, IBM's a little bit weak too, Dennis. Getting some follow through on that downgrade yesterday from Bank of America. Has sliced through Wednesday's low here at 205.19. I don't see much until 203.96, Dennis, which was our low back on March 22nd.
Yeah, Joel, it's a little bit scary here, that downgrade and just the follow-through day. I always say, that 2-day thing, you had the gap and fall to support. Now we hung out at support for a little bit. Now we're starting to take out this 205 area. You're right, Joe, you had the 203.90, and if it cut through there, then it would really start to open up, because I don't see much below that until 200. I mean, IBM's not going to do that today, but for you longer-term traders, something to keep in mind that there is probably a pretty good, decent move to be had if it starts to cut out through that 203.90 low you're talking about, Joel.
Okay, just one out of the Big Ten. Just wanted to talk about J&J. We haven't talked about that much in a while. Did get to the upper end of that range, Dennis. Just like clockwork, man. Above 66, and now it looks like it's migrating back towards 64. I do think we should touch on these financials here. They seem to be a bright spot in the market. When I was looking at this Bank America chart, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to 9. I couldn't find a good number in that area. So I was looking above it. If it could get above 1923, I might get a pop. And sure enough, it has, showing some strength. And then similarly with the J.P. Morgan, Dennis, and that's why I would like to talk about previous day's lows and highs. You did get 15 cents below yesterday's low, but you got a nice pop now in J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, you do, Joel. But all of these financials, they started to turn around. They opened up. They went a little bit lower after they opened, but now they've turned around, and the majority of them are actually positive. Citigroup's just only one of them that's red there, but it's only red by 4 cents. So you got J.P. Morgan trading up. You got Goldman Sachs has come back and it's down slightly, but majority of these financials are actually starting to rebound here, which is nice to see. And over in the European ones, they started to rebound a little while before the market, just before the market opened, they were rebounding too. So I think these financials are starting to get a little bit of people coming in trying to pick bottoms on them. Not saying that this is the low or anything, but a little bit of strength in the financials is holding up the market quite well.
Okay, yeah, boy, we sure spent a lot of time in the first show talking about the retail sales numbers and possible trading setups off those scenarios. So let's follow up with our listeners on some of those, Dennis.
Yeah, well, the Gap GPS, we were talking about how it was trading up in the pre-market over a new 52-week high, 27.75 it got up to. But we did warn you, we were saying 27 was a big number on this, and that was an hour before the open, and we said if it doesn't open above 27, then I'd be nervous. It actually opened it opened down 26.45, ran up to 26.85, and there's this high frequency wall happening up there, and they kept it down. So if you sold in the pre-market, yeah, I guess you did pretty good, Joel, because it ended up coming back down. But that continues to be the Great Wall of China, this 27 area on this GPS.
Okay, what other retailers we talked about? TJX, that one seemed to follow through the $40 level.
Yeah, TJX, Joel, it was trading up in the pre-market. We thought 40 might put a lid on it at the opening. It did. It opened at 39.90. Actually sold off a bit. But then it did eventually take out that $40 seller that we had been talking about, and has been moving up since. I mean, this stock is in breakout mode here now. 40, 45, it's making new 52-week highs as we speak. Like you were saying, it's a fantastic chart. It's had a great year already, trading $32 at the beginning of the year, now trading 40.5. So hard to step in front of this from a short perspective unless you've got a number like you had at the 40. But when they take out those numbers, you traders, you got to get out. So when we're highlighting a number at 40, and and then it takes that out and starts moving up, it's usually a signal that you don't want to be short the stock. So
this is an all-time high too.
It is an all-time high on TJX too. So and then a lot of these other retailers, the retailers overall have just been really, really strong. Macy's flirted with a 52-week high, which is symbol M. Made it a few days ago. Actually, almost you could argue that double top. 41.26 was the high from 3 sessions ago, and now 41.27. So it made a new high by a penny, and then turned over and rolled over. So good support in the Macy's down at 40. That's still 75 cents away from here. Yesterday's low, which was 40.06. So I call that whole area $40. It's come back down there. You might find some buyers on it, but you got a double top in place there, 41.27, Joel.
Okay, and what other retailers did we cover there?
Well, there's been quite a few. Obviously, we had same-store sales, so there was a lot of retailers. Target was another one that we were talking about in the pre-market. It opened right into resistance, Joel. 58.58 is where it topped out. Opened up at 58.07, ran up that little bit, but that resistance we were talking about, this whole 58.50 to 59 area has been major resistance. So it got up there, but kind of couldn't hold. Rolling back, it's almost flat on the day now at 57.90. So if that thing can't hold its yesterday's closing price, you start to get nervous too. But every time it rallies into those mid 58s, it's met with sellers, Joel. So there's a level to keep in mind on Target here as well. One we didn't talk about in the show was Bed Bath & Beyond, which is BBBY. And a lot of people confuse with BBY, but no, it's symbol BBBY. And man, it had a great report. It was trading up after hours. We know we didn't get a chance to talk about it in the pre-market, so might as well just touch it now. But man, this stock is now breaking out. I don't know if that's an all-time high. Joel will probably tell you in a second. I know it's a new 52-week high though, and 71.20 is where it touched already today, being up $5. This stock here is in total breakout mode too, Joel.
Yeah, that is an all-time
An
high there,
all-time high.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Yep, as we speak, 7120. I guess the only thing, wow, it's even had a monster range for today too, Dennis. I guess the only thing you could, well, no, a little bit over 2 point range. I guess the only thing if you're trading that equity and you're trading it from the long side and you're thinking about getting out today, don't have it off the top of my head, but I take a look at one of the average ranges, the 9 or 10 day average range, and kind of use that as a target.
Well, that's all we've really got for you on the update show here. Obviously, tomorrow is the markets are closed, even though we got the unemployment number, which we were highlighting on the show. Is there any words of caution here going into this long weekend, Joel, or what do you think?
The Spoos are going to be up 20 or down 20, Dennis. I mean, that's pretty much going to be, the play of, off the number, whether they like it or they don't like it. So we'll keep an eye on the 1380.50 level. We've been talking about that. That needs to get taken out for a breakdown in the market. And also on the upside, we have the high of the move, 1419.75. Was stymied there, 2 points shy on Monday at 1417.75. So could see which way we trend between those areas. Just to close, Dennis, just to get off the subject of the markets a little bit, opening day here in Detroit, the Tigers adding Prince Fielder. What's any predictions for the Motor City Kitties this year?
I don't know. They're the favorite. They're the favorite out in Vegas. I think it's 4-1 or something for them to win the World Series. So good times in D-Town supposed to be this year. I hope it's not like 5 years ago though, where they were really pumping the team too, and then the team didn't perform under the pressure. Hopefully, we've got obviously great pitching to go along with the great hitting lineup here now too. So we're pretty excited about the Tigers here this year, and hopefully they can do something.
Okay, all right, that's our show for today, folks. Stay glued to your computers during Good Friday for the unemployment number, and we'll be back with our analysis on Monday.